يا حمام الدوح شمالك تون انت ربع اللي اون ونيته.
In 2005, as their society was descending into a nightmare of sectarian and ethnic violence unleashed by the U.S. occupation, Iraqi human rights activists asked, can nonviolence be a tool for social change, even in the midst of war?
علمان على الجقاير والتتن وبيا يشرب له خلص باكيته.
Today, the Iraqi Nonviolence Network, LAONF, which means no violence in Arabic, is a coalition of more than 120 NGOs, all working together to defend and expand Iraqi citizens' rights and activism. LAONF has developed within a dangerous political climate where if you speak about resistance, you can be accused of advocating violence and supporting terrorists. But if you speak about nonviolence, you can be accused of being a collaborator and supporting the U.S. occupation. LAONF seeks to create a third way with its message that nonviolence is a tool to resist corruption, terrorism, and occupation. With support from international NGOs, LAONF's founders received training in the philosophy and practice of nonviolence. They studied the lives of Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Bacha Khan. Then, in May of 2006, these newly trained activists organized a week of nonviolence in Baghdad. They distributed a poster that featured a map of Iraq with no internal boundaries and the slogan, LAONF, no violence, written across it. They talked to people in schools, mosques, and on U.S. and Iraqi military bases. Responses were positive, and the LAONF network grew. A second week of nonviolence in 2007 included 42 organizations in 10 Iraqi governorates, or provinces. The theme of this second week of action was building peace. Activities included large and small gatherings, often with children. There were candlelight vigils to remember victims of violence and create opportunities to begin to talk of healing. In many areas, LAONF arranged for children to trade in their toy guns for soccer balls, and activists collected signatures on a petition to ban the sale of war toys. LAONF undertook this initiative after many young boys and their families were shot by occupation forces who mistook a realistic-looking toy gun for an actual weapon. In the governorate of Mutana, the petition that was begun in 2007 has resulted in a law being passed by the governing council, banning the sale and importation of all war toys and firecrackers. Now LAONF is working to have a national ban legislated. Following their 2007 Week of Nonviolence, LAONF activists carried out an impressive organizing campaign to build a national, democratic structure for their network. They conducted workshops in each of Iraq's 18 governorates, after which they held elections to choose a local board of directors. Each board was required to include 30% women and at least one person who was from a minority ethnic group in the governorate. In August of 2008, the first national meeting of the LAONF network's democratically elected leadership took place in Erbil. Representatives came to share information and experience and to plan for a third annual week of nonviolence, which focused on how to make the upcoming Iraqi elections free, informed, and truly democratic. LAONF began 2009 with a day of action to stop violence against women and a call for constitutional amendments to guarantee women's full equality. While the commitment of LAONF members to nonviolence is unconditional, Iraq's path to peace and security remains challenging. In response to recent tragic attacks on civilians, the activists of LAONF took to the streets of Baghdad. Then they broadened their call in November by convening an Iraqi nonviolence forum. Their message to the world: we work with growing hope to end the U.S. occupation and with the aim of building real and full sovereignty for Iraq. There is no alternative but nonviolent popular struggle for expressing the interests of the people and ensuring human rights and social justice.